Now then, welcome to the channel, Lake District, Northern Fells and Mungrisdale. We parked just down there, got the last space. We've arrived late today. The forecast was for it to improve as the day went on. So yeah, I took a chance and got last space. Now the intention today is to do 2 Wainwrights, a Birkett, and then just for Dave Ossel and Dave Allen, a Synge. So we're going to do Bannerdale Crags and Bowscale Fell. When we get to Bowscale Fell, we're doing the Wainwright top, the east top, which is also Tarn Crags top, and that's the Birkett, and then the far east top, which is the Synge. So we're doing 2 routes that we've never used before. We're going up the east ridge of Bannerdale Crags, and we're coming down the east ridge of Bowscale Fell, which is just over there. We're coming down there through that gorse there. Mind you, there's a path there. Might come down there. Don't know where that brings you out. Right, we'll have to see. So I'm expecting it to be a bit boggy to start with, until we start climbing up the east ridge of Bannerdale Crags, and then I think that might be a bit scrambly towards the top. I'm not sure. Right, so as we make our way along this track, we'll have a look at the route. So as I just said, the route I'd planned comes down the end of that ridge there, but we end up on the road. We have to do a short road section, but there's a path comes down there and then diagonally down here and then back along here. So we might do that instead. We'll see when we get up there. So as you see here, I don't know if you can read it. I can't read it, I ain't got my specs with me. But our footpath, part of it has been closed because it's been washed away. I had been told that was the case, so we have to do a bit of unnecessary up, I think, to drop that back down onto it. And then I say it probably gets a bit squelchy before we start to head off up the east ridge of Bannerdale Crags. Right, onwards we go. So we forked left off the main path. I'm not sure if this is the way we're supposed to go or not, but it's the way we're going. And if you keep right there, that path takes you up around the lower slopes of the tongue and into the col between Bannerdale Crags and Bowscale Fell. Or there is a path goes off steeply straight up the tongue. I wouldn't advise that. We've been down that way and it's not good. It's a bit of a sketchy path, isn't it? Again, it might be one of them that's better going up than coming down. Right, so we'll carry on and see where this takes us. So that track we were following ended up turning right and going back up to the main path. So we've branched off left onto an even fainter track of sorts, and a squelchier one as well. But we're heading pretty much in the right direction. I can see the path that we want going up the east ridge of Bannerdale Crags, so it's not too far before we get out of the bogs, I don't think. Right, on we go. Judging by these signposts, this is the official diversionary route. They could have chosen a drier route. I was nearly in it back there. It was we were like walking on a sponge. Right, so yeah, we drop down onto the intended path now before we pick the ridge up. So we're back down on the intended path by the River Glendamaracan, and we're not on it long before we start to climb up the ridge. And I tell you what, it's a bit chilly this morning. That wind's got a bit of a bite to it. I might have to put another layer on. Certainly when we get to the top, I think. Nobody coming this way. There's quite a few people gone up the main path going that way. Yeah, nobody coming this way. Right, on we go. So straight after that footbridge, we've turned right, and now we're starting the climb up onto the East Ridge. New path, well, ever since we branched off the main path that goes on up that way, this has been new paths for us. Yeah, we'll see what this is like. So that's looking back behind us where we've come up from, and it wasn't too bad up there. I mean, it was boggy on the diversion bit, but I've known worse. And then spin you around, we're heading on up there, and then I think after that knoll, not long after that I think, well, I don't know if it is scrambly or not, we'll have to see when we go. I think it's perfectly manageable anyway. Right, on we go. Oh well, that was a bit of a pull in places coming up there. We've just got the small matter of that to do now, and then that's all the ascent pretty much done. But it's windy on here again now as well. Right, so we'll get on up there. Well, I didn't do any filming coming up there. That was tough, and it was perfectly manageable, but it was mighty steep. So yeah, we're nearly at the top of Bannerdale Crags now. Nobody else coming up that way, so nice quiet route. Yeah, perfectly manageable, but just steep. Right, on we go to the top.
Basically, is that the top or is this the top?
This is actually the high point, but that's the Wainwright. So here we are on the high point of Bannerdale Crags, and that's Blencathra behind us. Sharp edge here, and a little dusting of snow there as well. Yeah, so the Wainwright top is just down there, so we'll head on over to that. So there we are on just off the Wainwright summit. That's looking down where we've just come up, the East Ridge. Looks pretty dramatic looking down on it there, isn't it? So yeah, it was perfectly manageable though, no issues coming up there. Steep like. And then we're heading off over here and then down that ridge the other side of the tongue. So we're going to see if we can get somewhere for coffee and a chew. Well, we've stopped for coffee and a chew. Charlie doesn't want his chew. There's some shooting going on kind of over Great Mel Fell way, so he won't eat his chew. But if you'd like to support the channel, there's that QR code there. You can scan that and that'll take you to buy me a coffee. You can buy us coffee and a chew for a future episode if you'd like. Or if you can't scan that QR code, there'll be a link in the description down there. That'll take you to buy me a coffee as well. So you could buy us coffee and a chew for a future episode if you'd like to help us out. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to everybody who has bought us coffees and chews so far. It's very much appreciated. It does help with bringing you the videos. So thank you very much. Well, I'm gonna have a coffee anyway, looking at the route we took up. Yeah, bless him, he's not happy. Right, we'll see you in a bit. It's okay, fella. Well, this is turning into an awful day now. Charlie's not happy because, well, can you hear it? That shooting, he's absolutely terrified. I'm not happy. The place is heaving and it's populated with summit hoggers and out of control dogs. Nightmare. I'll be glad when we get back to the car now. I don't think we'll bother stopping for lunch. We'll just leg it all the way around and get back to the car. Right, on we go. There we are at the top of Bowscale Fell. That's looking back to Skiddaw behind us over there, and Blencathra that way. Right, we're not hanging about here, it's heaving. So we're going to get ourselves over to Tarn Crag's top. So here we are at another cairn, which is quite obviously lower than that one behind us there. But this is actually the spot height of 702 metres. So I don't know what's going on there. Right, down we go. So that path going off over there, that takes you over towards Bowscale Tarn. We're not going that way. We're going this way, which is over to East Top, which is also called Tarn Crags Top. And we go over there. So we've just wandered off the path a bit to show you this view. Now, that path that I said that went off to the left, that goes down that ridge there. You can either follow that ridge down, or there is a steep path, comes right down to end at Tarn. That's Bowscale Tarn. And then beyond that, up there is High Pike, and there's Bowscale Fell. Right, so we're going to get on up here to the top of this Birkett, which I'll tell you about when we get up there. So here we are on the Birkett, which is Bowscale Fell East Top, and it's also called Tarn Crags Top, and that's where we were first thing, up the ridge we went up to Bannerdale Crags. There's Blencathra and Bowscale Fell, and behind that is Skiddaw. Right, so we'll get ourselves down to our last hill of the day, which is a special one for Dave Austin, Dave Allen, which is a Synge. So here we are on the Synge, which is Bowscale Fell Far East Top, and there seems to be a bit of a rudimentary cairn down there. I don't know if Mr. Hostel's been here building that. So yeah, that's a Synge done for us. I don't really think Synge's off. I'm just doing well, my third round of Wainwrights, Birketts, and if I can be bothered, outlying fells. So yeah, a Synge, and that's looking back up to Tarn Crags Top, and right round over there to Bowscale Fell, and thankfully it's got a lot quieter. There was just 4 in front of us. They've headed off down. We saw them on top of Bannerdale Crags. But yeah, we've got a place to ourselves now. We've got great views, but I can't put you on tripod. It's far too windy. It's got a bit of a chill to it. It's that wind as well. We can see right over to. I think I can see Catstye Cam sticking up over there, and then beyond that there's some more hills. And you see that way over to North Pennines, to Cross Fell. Right, yeah, so we're gonna head down from here now. So we're at the top of Raven Crag now, and I've seen no signs of a path taking us down onto that diagonal track, so we'll just stick to our intended route, I think. I'll just show you over my shoulder. That's a lovely view, looking up the River Glendamaracan and the part of our route, and up to Bannerdale Crags. And this one here, this is called the Tongue, with that's an awful path coming down there. Right, down we go. Well, that was a bit steep coming down there by Raven Crag. Perfectly manageable, just take your time. I say a bit steep and a bit loose in places. It's a glorious day now. That's looking back where we've been, up the east ridge of Bannerdale Crags. Yeah, glorious day. So we're nearly back at road now, so I'm going to sign off. Right, enjoyed it in the most part. Good going up, decent coming down, very quiet both ways. The tops between Bannerdale Crags and Bowscale Fell, nightmare. Overpopulated, out of control dogs, summit hoggers. Yeah, gunshot over there upsetting Charlie. He's not settled all day. He's still upset now. We've not bothered stopping for lunch. We're going to have a picnic in the car, I think. But it's glorious now. Not hardly seen anybody coming down this way. So yeah, all in all, it's been a good route. I can recommend that route up Bannerdale Crags. There's no scrambling. It is steep. It does help to use your hands in a few places just because it's so steep. But yeah, good. This route coming down, I've been surprised. It's been a really good path coming down here, and quiet. So yeah, been good all in all, apart from people. Seen far more than 11, Mr. Rossell. So it's not been a good day, has it? So anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, we'll hopefully see you on another one soon. Ta-ra!